It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Sainsbury's. It's their selected by our experts Taste the Difference range, and it's their best bitter. 4% ABV, 500ml bottle. Here's the bottle cap. What I like about it is it's in nice brown glass. It's a nice brown glass bottle, so you're not going to have any light bleeding into the beer. It's been kind of made correctly as far as I'm concerned. Let's get the beer out into a glass, see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass. Oh, it looks really good. I like a best bitter. We'll have a look on the label. It's been brewed by Hall and Woodhouse. Some of you will remember them as Badger Ales. Badger Tanglefoot and Badger maybe Poacher's Choice. That company. So we got a 2-finger, slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation, a light-ish. Well, I'm going to say no. It's amber in colour, clear. Not a bottle conditioned beer. It's been filtered out. Now I'm going to say, it's the time of year well, I love this time of year, by the way, because I haven't got to worry about cooling my beers anymore. It gets down to about 6 degrees now in the night. And by mid-morning, by 9 o'clock in the morning, it's about 8 to 10 degrees here this morning. So I leave my beers now. The beers I want to review the next day, I'll leave them all on the bar, lined up, out in this conservatory. They're the perfect temperature for me to review. I don't like to drink my beer too cold. If you drink your beer too cold, I think you're taking away from the flavour. Gone are the days of the super chilled cream flow bitters that were plaguing the 90s. So good carbonation, let's get the aroma. It smells quite good. A little bit of sweetness in there, a little bit of bitterness, which you would expect from a best bitter. It's got a sort of kind of brambling cross, slightly woody, slight berry flavours coming through. Oh, and it was £1.60 a bottle. This is a new range of beers that have launched into Sainsbury's. £1.60 for a bottle. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Do you know, that's not too bad. After a few seconds thought there, thinking about the beer, thinking about the style, thinking about who's going to drink it, where they're going to drink it, the months are cooling, this time of year is cooling down by night. You want something a little bit hearty, a little bit warming, a little bit of body in it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bit biscuity. It's a little bit bready. It's hoppy. It's kind of like berry-like hoppy, a little bit woody, a little bit twiggy. I am going to say you do taste big beer in here. Now, Hall and Woodhouse, Badger Ales, they are a pretty big brewery these days. And as soon as a brewery hits a certain size, as soon as they hit X amount of hectolitres they start brewing, then it's impossible to get away from. Beer suffers. Beer suffers. This has, on the downside, this has a little bit of tinniness to it. It's a little bit like you've thrown a couple of copper pennies in the bottom of this glass. Some people really like that. Some people like the metallic taste. Some people like the almost Burtonization of it. Some people like that kind of metallic copper nails in the bottom of the glass feel. I would say the carbonation's slightly too aggressive as well, only slightly. It would be good to knock some of the carbonation out. In fact, there's a little widget on the bottom of this glass, so if I was to leave this beer for about 10 minutes, it would knock quite a bit of the carbonation out of the glass, and I think the beer would benefit for that. I don't think you need an overly carbonated or highly carbonated best bitter. It doesn't need to be so aggressive in the mouth. I think because the carbonation's knocked this beer a little bit. I think if it was less carbonated, you might get a little bit less of that kind of copper nail, that tinniness, that metallic taste. But again, on balance, on reflection, it's £1.60 a bottle. For a 4% ABV best bitter, in this day and age where you're paying £5 in the pub for a pint, this is well under half that, isn't it? This £1.60 we're paying here. In Wales, by the way, I'm not sure. I always get comments, like if you're living in Wales and Scotland, we get taxed higher for our beer. And in England, it's less so. Bit of a shame, really, because I don't think there should be any kind of need to overly tax a best bitter. I mean, for me, it's just greedy. It's not. It's not as if you're going to buy 50 bottles of this and have a damn good session. Is it? It's a best bitter. It's a respected pint. It's you know, if you're going to do that sort of thing, you're going to do it with White Lightning or some cheap cooking lager, but not with a best bitter. I think the minimum pricing should be for stuff that teenagers target to drink. Not this, surely. But it's okay. It's citrusy, it's hoppy, it's balanced, it's a little biscuity. It's a little tinny and metallic though. But for £1.60, I don't really know what more Hall and Woodhouse can do. I mean, if this was a £3 or £4 best bitter, then maybe I'll be a little bit less tinny, a little bit less metallic. Right, description. An easy drinking, sessionable English style best bitter brewed in the heart of Dorset. The Bowbeck and Dana hops produces the subtle bitterness and noble pine note characters with the addition of biscuity crystal malt to create a well-balanced, full-flavoured beer. Can I rate it? For your money, it's okay, it's not too bad. If you want to pay a little bit more for a best bitter, then pay a little bit more for a best bitter. If you can't handle that kind of slightly metallic taste, I'm not a fan of it, if I'm honest. I'm really not a fan of it at all. So I might steer clear from this one in the future. But if you don't mind the taste of it, then you know, you crack on, you enjoy it. I'd say this is for the money. I think it's very important to add the value of beer, how much you paid for the beer, because that dictates how much ingredients the brewer can put into the beer in the first place. It's a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.